So Mads Mikkelsen, he decides to break the silence on the Fantastic Beasts 3 casting and give an exclusive interview to EW. Now, I thought this was fascinating because Mads Mikkelsen, he rarely sounds off on something like this. I mean, sure, he'll go out and he'll give interviews, but he doesn't inject himself into something that, well, it could be career damaging. And it makes me wonder, is this coming from Mads Mikkelsen? Is this coming from Warner Brothers? Are they trying to get ahead of this situation? What exactly is going on with this? So yeah, let's check this out. So hey there, folks. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I want to ask you this before we continue. If you like this video, make sure that you share it. Make sure that you shout it out. Leave comments, like, all of that stuff. Feed the algorithm, because this gets the information out there. I also want to say that I have nothing against Mads Mikkelsen. This is a business decision. I love Mads Mikkelsen and a lot of stuff. So when you go out and you're loud about this, make sure you point it toward Warner Brothers. Make sure you point it in the right direction. He is not the reason that this stuff happened. So just in case you've been living on Mars, by the way, welcome back. We all missed you. But yeah, just in case you've been out of the loop for a little while, let me briefly catch you up on what this situation is. If you already know this, go ahead and skip forward in the video. But yeah, you want people to understand this. So Johnny Depp, on November the 6th, we're talking about less than a month ago, decided to post for his 8.7 million followers on Instagram the following letter. So you can see the date and place here, and then he says, quote, "In light of recent events, I would like to make the following short statement. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone who has gifted me with their support and loyalty. I've been humbled and moved by your many messages of love and concern, particularly over the last few days. Secondly, and this is the part that we're talking about here, I wish to let you know that I've been asked to resign by Warner Brothers from my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I've respected and agreed to that request. Finally, I wish to say this. The surreal judgment of the court of the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth, and I confirm that I plan to appeal. My resolve remains strong, and I intend to prove that the allegations against me are false. My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time. Thank you for reading. Sincerely, Johnny Depp." Now, we're going to look at the interview in just a second, but I really want to stress something here. And I mean, think about this. So this post, look at the interaction level that it has. You have 8.7 million followers here, and typically 1 to 4% of those will actually go through, read, and then like. On this post, however, you see 34.5% and above actually liking, and that 1 to 4%, yeah, you see that made up in comments. That is absolutely insane. You also see people going out and filling out petitions. You see 1 million plus signatures already generated, and that's within a span of less than a month. Warner Brothers, they have to see that, and they have to think, oh man, what is going on? How do we reel that in? And that's what I mean by, who is this coming from? Is this Mads Mikkelsen? Is this Warner Brothers? And whoever it is this out there just to do an interview? Or is this trying to get ahead of a situation? So like I said, EW, they managed to land their exclusive. And the reason that I go through the background on this is because the way that they put things together versus the reality of situations, yeah, just listen to this for a second. So they point out, exclusive, Mads Mikkelsen breaks silence on Fantastic Beasts 3 casting. And then they have this to say. Mads Mikkelsen is opening up about the quote-unquote shocker moment he got the call to replace Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3. So this next statement is really, really interesting to me, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So the Danish actor was cast last month as the Dark Wizard Grindelwald after Warner Brothers asked Depp to resign from the Harry Potter prequel franchise. So you know the reason that's interesting too is because people like myself and other sources, we were talking about this. It wasn't confirmed, but I was hearing a lot of noise behind the scenes from sources that I do trust saying, yeah, this is going on. After we started talking about this, the mainstream media, places like EW, they came out and said, yeah, that's not happening. This stuff, debunked indeed. But you know what? It's been going on for a month. Warner Brothers, they've been trying to figure out how to announce it, how to get past this stuff, but you know, they're never going to get past it. Now, as far as the interview itself, this is the way that it pops up. And I want to say something on this, too. So during a discussion about Mikkelsen's new film, Another Round, EW asked Rogue One and Hannibal actor how his take on the villainous character will differ from Depp's. Now, I know some people out there will say, well, maybe that's an ambush, that Umbrella Guy. You know, they just popped a question on him. But no, if you go out and you look at the way Mads Mikkelsen does interviews, you can tell that the guy prepares for questions. If he didn't want to answer this, he simply wouldn't answer it. He already had a statement, and I'll bet you money that this is a Warner Brothers prepared statement. They know that this thing, it has to come up. And if you don't give the right answers, well, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars banked on each answer out there. So yeah, this stuff, it's not handled off the cuff. So here's his answer to that one. Quote, well, it's going to be me, so that's different, Mikkelsen quipped. Then he got serious. No, this is the tricky part. We're still working it out. There has to be a bridge between what Johnny did and what I'm going to do. And at the same time, I also have to make it my own. But also, we have to find a few links to the previous version of the character and some bridges so it doesn't completely detach from what he's already masterfully achieved. I think that's a very diplomatic answer, too. I think Mads Mikkelsen did an excellent job in answering this. But when you think about this, you can't forget Johnny Depp in that character. And that's a huge, huge problem for Warner Brothers. Why? Because every time you look at that character, you're not just going to think, hey, you know, I remember that previous actor. No, you're going to think, I remember that previous actor. I remember why he was on this, and I remember why he isn't now. That's going to be a huge problem. Now, all of that, of course, is laying the groundwork for what they really want to ask him. And they ask him in this way, quote, we also asked Mikkelsen about his reaction to landing the role, which came about under such dramatic circumstances. Now, Mads, for his part, does an excellent job answering while also deflecting. He basically breaks this down into job and personal, and also he doesn't want to be perceived as taking a side. And I want to talk about that after I read this. So job-wise, it's obviously super interesting and nice. So you have the job portion, personal portion here. It's also a shocker that came after what happened, which is just super sad. Then you have the not taking sides. I wish both of them the best. These are sad circumstances. I hope both of them will be back in the saddle again really soon. Now, that might seem innocuous to you, too. But you know what? Warner Brothers, they can't come out and make any statement, especially a statement that says, well, you know what? We're not the bad guy in this. But Mads Mikkelsen can. And when people look at him and they say, well, you know, he isn't the bad guy here, I'm sure the hope is to deflect away from this situation, to put a face out there to say, well, you know, if I go after this, I go after this person, too. I'm harming this person in it, so you know what? Yeah, maybe I should think about it. I think that's what we're seeing here, but I'm curious what you think about it. See, if you take nothing else from all of this, I want you to take this away. When these people speak, I don't want you to think about them speaking in syllables. This stuff, it's not morphemes and phonemes. No, we're talking in dollar signs. This is a game played for hundreds of millions of dollars, and right now, Warner Brothers has to know that they're losing. See, if you go in and you compare the first two movies, what you'll find is a fascinating feature. These movies, they actually compared side by side for the first few days, despite the fact that this movie was universally panned. In fact, I've always wondered if this movie actually had a script that everyone enjoyed, would it have actually outperformed the first movie? See, this, you can see star power here. And go in and look at any interview, any discussion about this film. What do people talk about? Good or bad? They talk about Johnny Depp. Mads Mikkelsen is stepping into that role. And that role, it is a monster one. Warner Brothers, they have to see that. They have to know what this stuff is going to do to the franchise. And yeah, they have to be worried about it. That's why they pushed the movie out to 2022. That's why they're not making statements about this stuff as well. They're going out, they're letting other people speak. And like I said, that's how I see this anyhow. You tell me what you think, though. I'm curious. And as always, too, I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you participating in these endeavors. You make this stuff possible. Also, want to mention, if you like the product we do here, you like the channel, make sure you're subbed, make sure you like and comment, feed that algorithm, get this information out there. And if you want to help the platform out, check out the links that we have in our description.